So as soon as I got to camp, I had already put on my leggings, gloves, hat, and jacket because it was pretty cold. So those would have been in the bag though. And this is a Palante Simple V2. I got the wrong size. It's like the torso is too small. This is a piece of a Gossamer Gear Thin Light pad. I use it as a sit pad. So we'll start with the bottom. The little compartment thing. This was supposed to be my lunch. They got squished. The peanut butter and jelly. Got some paper towels for those. A sunscreen stick, chapstick, hand sanitizer, toilet paper, double ply. This is an Anchor battery, a charger for my phone, and some headphones. This is a Frog Talks rain jacket. As you can see, I haven't even used it yet. Those are some paper towels, which I brought 3 trips so far and still haven't used it, so I probably won't need those. This is my first aid kit. A bunch of band-aids, antiseptic wipes, a little knife. That's it, REI, a little towel, a long-handled spoon. This is the Nightcore NU20, I think, headlamp without the red light, and then the little string hanging off the back is a little red light, which I take off and use as a necklace. It's my retainer. This is a little toothbrush from, I'm pretty sure, Lightsmith, and then some Coleman toothpaste. That's a Mio for water. That's a bear bag kit with 50 feet of rope. There are 8 titanium hook stakes in there. I'm wearing fleece gloves. Those are like summer athletic tights. Smart water bottles. The hat I'm wearing is just like a face mask. I'm wearing a pretty thin hoodie. And then a Swiss Alpine down jacket from Amazon. It's a Sawyer Mini and the Evernew, which realistically the Evernew doesn't really fill up with water that well, so might switch to the knock bag. These are some old Walmart trekking poles that I took 2 sections of, so they're each 4 ounces now. Because I don't really hike with trekking poles. I'm also wearing Skechers. These are my everyday Skechers. So now you can see how stuffed it is, because the smaller torso also has a smaller bag size. Those are the pants to the Frog Talks, which came in handy because of how cold it was. That's the Bora Gear Solo tarp with guidelines and stuff on it. Those are some towels. This is the Wise Owl dry sack, which I use as a food bag. It's like way too big to be a food bag, really, but that's a compactor bag. I accidentally got the scented version, so it used to smell, but now it's aired out. Those are some boxers for sleeping. That's a shirt for sleeping. Socks. So I ended up actually not changing into those extra clothes because it was just cold. I kept my clothes on. But I did put on the socks because my feet were freezing. The thing I'm pulling out now is the hammock gear quilt. It's a 20 degree and it's the economy version. I've had that for a while. This is the baby you can get off AliExpress for like $15. It's pretty good. That's a piece of polycryo for the ground sheet. And so So the baby weighs like, I think, 9 ounces. And then it's a Trekology pillow. And then under that is a Trekology UL80. And then under that is another piece of a Gossamer Thin White. And I just realized that my Cook It was inside of my food bag. But for my Cook It weighs like 6 ounces. I have a Tokes 750 and then a BRS and then a little tripod for the canister that I took from a Jetboil. And then there's a little flint steel to light it, a sponge, and a light load towel. And I do keep the lid. And then I also have a Gossamer Gear piece that I made into a pot cozy. It's not on in the picture because I don't have it on there while it's cooking. And then I also have a rubber band to hold the lid on. So this trip was like 2 days before Christmas. And even though it's not like freezing, it was about 20 degrees at night. And the Trekology UL80 is really comfortable and thick, but for winter camping, it's just not it. Like, it has like a 1 R value or something. So my brother brought another Amazon sleeping pad, and then he had a Z light underneath it, and he stayed warm, but I just had a torso length of the thin light, which apparently only adds like 0.5 R value. So I wasn't like freezing or anything, but I was kind of cold from my back. But the Hammock Gear Economy Quilt, it was like 4 years old now, maybe 3 years, and it held up really good, like I was warm. But it did take forever for my feet to warm up. Another issue was wind. So it wasn't wet or anything, which was nice, but it was pretty windy, coming from like straight the direction you're looking, and then also behind. So right now I'm just setting up. I tried to find a flat area. This you probably can't tell, but this is a hill. It's not that flat. As you can see, it's pretty easy because I already have all the, guidelines and stuff. So I don't remember the exact dimensions, but it's like maybe like 20 feet of the ridge line, and then the 4 corners have like 8 feet, and then the 2 middle pieces have like 6 feet or something like that. And it works out pretty well. And it's also a continuous ridge line. So this is maybe my 3rd time sleeping in a tarpon bivvy. Not counting the times I sleep in it at my house, like in the yard. But like the first time I got it, I used it a couple times and didn't really like it, mostly because of the privacy. But then I tried it out more recently, and I learned. And another thing is the rain, because of how small the tarp is. But I slept in it when it rained, and whenever I set it up where the wind was just blowing like into the opening instead of against the side. And that's the only reason I got wet. And it wasn't like I had it like really low to the ground. It only blew in because of the way I had it set up. So this time I was setting it up kind of against the wind, and if it started raining, I think I would have been dry. And then a trip after this, I used it, and I even set it up higher, and I even felt more safe because it wasn't really windy, and it still didn't rain, but like if you're not scared about privacy, this is way lighter. So the tarp with all the guidelines and everything is 9 ounces, and then like I said, this bivvy is 9 ounces, and there's obviously lighter bivvies, but this one's like the cheapest one. So that's like 18 ounces, and then I use the same stakes as if I was staking my other tent. So that's like 19 ounces for a shelter. And if you use trekking poles, it don't count into the weight, but I don't use trekking poles, so I have to take those 2 red poles, which are 8 ounces together. Obviously, if there's a lot of trees, you could use 2 trees, but I only use 1 tree right here because there's not really a tree over there. But yeah, so that's 18 ounces. That's a little bit more than a pound versus like random tents, or obviously you can get ultralight tents made out of carbon fiber, but like my nylon tent that I have, the 6 Moon Designs one, is I think 28 ounces. So that's like 10 more ounces, which obviously isn't too much more, but it also feels lighter carrying a hammock and a bivy. But yeah, now it does take way more longer to set up because you have to get everything right. Even after this video, I fixed it some more and stuff. So right here, so filling up the pad, it just takes forever because of how big it is. So I'm just taking a little break right here. It gets crazy how long it takes to fill it up. But this trail was pretty nice. It was the Hawksbill Mountain Trail. Took about 30 minutes. One thing is there's no water. Like, I'm used to at least passing some water, but there was no water. So when we had the water we hiked in with, which was, my brother had 2 liters and I had a liter, and then like 3/4 of a liter. But the views are pretty nice. But it was definitely cold and windy. After like 2 hours of the sunset, the moon came out, so that was nice. So yeah, I know it's been a while since I've done any backpacking videos. I've been backpacking here and there, but just haven't done any videos or anything. So took this video, and I should be doing a lot more reviews because I feel like there's a lot of stuff I can review now. So you should be seeing more.